for sign. You're listening to the TalkBox. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah, you're listening to the TalkBox for sign. You're listening to the TalkBox. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. TalkBox.
Hey, you guys, it's your girl Sonia G here on the TalkBox. Rise and shine. This is the day that the Lord has made, so we will rejoice and be glad in it. You know what we say here on the TalkBox: every day above ground is a good day. And we have another day, another opportunity to get some things right that we didn't have quite right on yesterday. So I just want to remind you to make sure that you're sharing the live, and make sure that you talk back to me. Let me know that you're in the room. Today is Marvelous Monday, and we're talking about don't take the bait. There is a lot of things that Satan uses against us, but the truth of the matter is he has no new tactics. So you know what we say here, that God has given us permission and the authority to live an abundant life. And in order for us to live the abundant life, there is a process. So you guys, I am traveling. So if you hear any kind of background noise today, I'm actually traveling. Tomorrow is my birthday, so make sure that you come on with me on tomorrow. But for today, don't take the bait. If you would go ahead and speak to me when you come in the room, so I'll know that you're there. I'll know who you are, so I can give you a shout out. But all this week, we're going to be going live from Jamaica, my birthday trip. But as we know, time does not stand still. And so I'm very thankful. If the Lord allow me to get up on tomorrow, it'll be another birthday, another year that he has blessed me with. However, since time don't stand still and this thing is a process, then we need to get in a hurry, living the abundant life that we have permission to live. So when we're talking about don't take the bait, there's several tactics that the enemy try to use to keep us in bondage. Over the weekend, I had the privilege of speaking at Northwest Correction Prison for 2 days. They had a 3-day revival, but I was the speaker for 2 days. And one of the things that we went over was that God gave me to give to them, and now giving me to give to you, is don't take the bait. Somebody say, don't take the bait. The first bait that Satan always throw out at us is the spirit of offense. Because you offended, because you're upset, because things are not going the way that you would have them to go, you get offended and you end up reacting instead of responding. But we don't have to take the bait today. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Tony. It's good to see you this morning. But we do not have to take the bait. So the first bait that Satan sends out to us again is offense. Offense. Don't allow yourself to wallow in the spirit of offense. The Bible says in Luke chapter 17, I believe it's verse 1 and 2. Any verse 1 and 2, babe? It says that it's impossible for us to go throughout this life without being offended, but don't stay there. Because when you stay in the spirit of offense, your heart will become hardened and you won't be able to walk this life out in abundance. Why? Because when we get offended and our hearts get hardened, then all of a sudden we're not able to love, we're not able to heal, we're not able to forgive. And so you don't want to stay stuck in the spirit of offense. Somebody say offense. That's OFFENSE. You offended me. You hurt my feelings. Sometimes when I'm all in my feelings, my husband will tell me all the time, babe, you in your feelings. Well, sometimes we gotta put our big boy drawers on and our big girl drawers on and mature past when someone offends us. And let me tell you, the way that somebody offends you is when we have an expectation of how someone is supposed to react or respond. And if we will get past that, knowing that none of us is perfect and none of us think alike, so we'll stop expecting, hey, Tanya, I'm starting my birthday trip today. Tomorrow is my birthday, you guys, but I'm starting it today. But when we stop and mature past being offended just because somebody didn't respond or react the way that you would have them to react, that is something, even in relationships, in my marriage, I was like, why would you do that? I don't understand that. And so when we are not through looking at people through God's lens instead of our own, because our lens is sometimes distorted. So offense, don't take the bait. There are some people who go around, you do know that misery loves company. So there are people that go around and want to offend you. It's their life charge to offend you on a daily basis. But you have a choice. You don't have to take the bait. The second thing that Satan uses as bait to hook us in and to keep us in bondage is pride. And the Bible says that pride comes before destruction, and pride stinks in the eyesight of God. So when we are trying to mature in Christ, then we have to get past the spirit of offense and we have to make sure that we remain humble. Make sure that you're not wrapped up and cloaked up in pride. See, pride also hardens your heart because you get prideful and you get to thinking that it was you who woke you up. It was you who allowed you to have a reasonable portion of your health and strength. It was you who allowed you to have the business or to have the six-figure job. It was you who made it happen for you to be driving the car that you drive or the home that you live in. And yes, there was a process that you personally had to go through, but without God, nothing is possible. So we want to stay away from the spirit of pride. And not only that, but God says that pride stinks in his eyesight. And so when we are living for Christ, we want to do all that we can in order to be more and more like him. So we know that Satan want to keep us in bondage. He used the spirit of offense. He used the spirit of pride, but he also uses fear. Fear will keep you stifled. When somebody scares you, when they walk into the room and scare you, you become paralyzed a little bit. You jump up and you tense up. And that's how it is in the spirit realm. When we're walking in fear instead of faith, God said in his word that he is not the author of fear, but he gave us love and a sound mind to reason things out instead of reacting, a sound mind to respond to situations, circumstances, and issues in your life. So I don't know about you, but I'm not going to take the bait today. I'm not going to take the bait of offense. I'm not going to take the bait of pride, and nor am I going to take the bait of fear. And we know what fear is. Fear Fear. Fear. Fear is the false evidence appearing real. See, Satan is a trickster and he loves trying to duplicate God's blessings. That's why sometimes we get it twisted. We think that evil people is being blessed. Well, the truth of the matter is this: Satan can only give you a replica. But I don't know about you, but I want the real deal. I want everything that God has for me. But when we are operating in fear, and when we've taken the bait of fear, then that false evidence appearing real will keep us stuck and in bondage. But God said that if we be free in Him, then we are free indeed. But when we take the bait of offense. Folk is offending us left and right. We don't all think alike. So sometimes we just need to let people have their own reasoning, their own thinking, their own way of doing things. We can suggest things to them if we see them doing something that's a little thrown off. But at the end of the day, you know what I say here on the talk box, uh, everything. Good morning, Mud. Good morning. Good morning to you. And so again, you guys, I'm actually traveling. Tomorrow is my birthday. So so you might hear because I'm in the airport. But here's the thing about false evidence appearing real. Sometimes God is trying to bless us, but we've gotten our eyes fixated on Satan's replica. Sometimes we ask God for a husband or for a wife, and we start looking for them through our eyes instead of God's eyes. And then Satan will put in something that's not real. Because when he operates, good morning, Anissa. When Satan is operating, he can only give you a duplicate, a replica, a counterfeit. He operates in counterfeits. So we need to remember that the greatest thing that God gave us is also the worst thing that God gave us at the same time. It just depends on your choice, and that is free will. So we don't have to take the bait of offense. We don't have to allow people to offend us anymore. We can just allow them to be them. I'm going to meet you where you are. Why? Because every day that we get up, we should strive to be more and more like Him. And if we're going to be more and more like Him, what He did, He met us where we were. And so many times we expect more of others than what we receive from God. We expect others to get it right quickly. We expect others to only love. We expect others not to have shortcomings. We expect others uh, not to do this or not to do that. But at the same time, we're doing it ourselves. So stop expecting things out of others that you're not willing to produce in yourself. So we're not going to take the bait. Everybody, type it in. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait of offense. Don't take the bait of pride. Again, pride stinks in the eyesight of God. And sometimes when we're so puffed up in pride, it clouds our judgment. We tend to think that the whole world revolves around us and we'll miss valuable lessons that God is trying to teach us. But when we are cloaked up in pride, it'll have us to miss the mark. And so, since God has given us the authority for abundant living, then we need to get in a hurry, maneuvering and going through the process so that we can have all that God has for us. I don't know about you, but I want everything that God has for me. Tony says, don't take the bait of offense nor pride. That is right. because pride stinks in the eyesight of God, and pride comes before destruction. A lot of times, too, we think we the big man on the campus. We think we the big man on our job. We think we're the big man here and big man there. And we'll miss what the blessings that God have for us because we've taken the bait of pride. And so what'll happen is God will allow, he doesn't cause, but he will allow you to lose some things. He will allow folk to walk away. Good morning, Anita. Anita online. Um, so he Anita be yeah. So he will allow us to lose things. He'll allow us to lose relationships. You do know that God said he is a jealous God. So we can't put our husbands before God, our wives before God, our friends, our children, because we will get puffed up in pride. Look what I have. Look at my husband. Look at my wife. Look at my kids. Uh, and then God will just take his hand, that umbrella from around us, and we'll lose some things. So today we are trying to learn more and more about this process of getting to abundant life. I need for everybody, whether you're on the YouTube side or the Facebook side, to make sure that you're liking this post. We need to get the algorithms up so that somebody else may uh, tap in to abundant living. That's what life is all about. I'm sitting here in the airport, and yes, tomorrow is my birthday. I'm excited about it, but I'm sitting here, and on the way here, the ride was a little bumpy. And they hover around before they land. So that's the same way in the spirit realm. Every now and again, no matter how saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost you are, life will still happen, and there will be a few bumps in the road. But as long as we adhere to God's principles for our lives instead of our own, as long as we continue to refuse to take the bait of offense. I'm not going to get offended because you can't do something for me right now. Who knows what your schedule is? Have you ever noticed that sometimes people get upset with you when you have things going on in your life? You have to understand and know and set boundaries and let people know your emergency is not my emergency. Now, if I can help you, that's all good, fine and good. But sometimes we allow other folk to throw us off, and then we end up being offended. So we're not going to take the bait. We're not going to be offended. We're going to continue to not grow weary in our well doing, because that's when we will be able to tap into our season and reap a harvest of blessings. So after we have refused to take the bait of offense, we've refused to take the bait of pride, and now we refuse to take the bait of fear. What are you afraid of today? Have God promised you anything? And because your fear has stamped out your faith, the angels have turned back around when your blessing was right at the door. Sometimes we give up a moment before the miracle happens. We'll take the bait of fear, and it'll stamp out all of our faith. We know that God said that he is Jehovah Jireh, the God that provides. But fear will make you start doubting God. Uh, but you know, those old song says, you can't hurry God. You just have to wait. The songs also says that he may not come when you want him, but he's always on time. Does anybody know what I'm talking about today? You've been in a situation and you thought the gig was up, but God stepped right in at that last moment, because we allow faith to stamp out our fear. Again, fear is the false evidence appearing real. So some things are going to appear real in your life. And your feelings are valid. Your pain is valid when you go through loss. But you need to know that God is bigger than any problem that you may have. And God is your solution. He's my solution. My solution uh, with things within my own self. On this journey, on this journey to abundant living, you're not going to always get it right. And every now and again, you may take up the spirit of offense. You may get swelled up with pride. You may even walk in fear. But I want to encourage you, don't stay there. Don't stay there. I want to tell you also that I'm going to go ahead and start putting the link in the description for the entire month of August. On Thursdays, on Thankful Thursday, I'm going to give you a 2-minute pop up to be able to come on the live. I'm going to go ahead and put the link down now so that you can play with it, Tony, because I know you had a hard time getting on. So that you can come on and give your testimony or a prayer request. So every Thursday for the month of August, you will have the opportunity to log on and be a guest on the show. Okay? So, and again, so all this week we'll be live from Jamaica. So, you guys, I hope that you pray for us as we travel and ask God to give us traveling grace and arriving mercy. And I want to thank you for being such awesome, 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 uh, as Wendy Williams say, co-host to the TalkBox show. But in order for us to mature to the place and to become the men and the women of God that God already called and ordained us to be, we can't take the bait. We can no longer take the bait. We can no longer allow the enemy to have a footstool in our life on a daily basis. We can no longer continue to allow Satan to distort our spiritual eyes. We can no longer allow Satan to keep our hearts hardened um, and keep us from love. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not self-seeking. Love never fails. So if we continue to walk in offense, continue to walk in pride, continue to walk in fear, we're not able to love. And don't you want to be more and more like Christ? Don't you want the abundant life that God promised you that you can have? Again, I've said it before. You may not live in the house you want to live in, may not drive the car you want to drive, may not have the money in your pocket that you want to have, but you can have abundant life today. So, right now, I just pray over each and every one of you. I declare and decree on today by the Spirit of the Lord that He will elevate you, that He will transform your mind, that He will renew your spirit, that He will stir up your gifts, and that He will elevate you, shape you, and mold you into the men and women of God that He already called and ordained you to be. Jeremiah 29:11 says that God has a plan for you, a plan to prosper you, not to harm you, a plan of a hope. Every day that we get up, we got a choice. We got another day to get some things right. So, this is what you need to do. You need to either get busy living or get busy dying. It's your choice. I hope and pray that I've said something to help you along life's journey. As we travel, as we travel, I just wanted to come on for a moment before we got on the plane, just to tell you what's in my spirit. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. The bigger person know how to walk away. The bigger person know how to think and respond instead of reacting. So let's see. Tony says, God is love. So why would we not want to spread it as much and as to many as we can? That is so true, Tony. That is so, so true. And so I just want to thank you guys for coming on. I'm excited about tomorrow, my birthday. So make sure that you let everybody know they need to come on tomorrow for my birthday. I got a reason. And so I also want to go ahead sometime today. I'm going to put the link in the description so that you, and you can be guests here on the Talk Box. It's a 2-minute thing on Thursday. So every Thursday this month, we'll be doing you as a guest and the co-host. So thanks so very much, you guys, for coming on today. I appreciate it. Like I said, we got to catch this plane, baby. God is blessing me to be here for another year, and I am so, so grateful. I'm so thankful. But for those who just popped on, today's is Marvelous Monday, where we realize, understand, and achieve the act of not taking the bait. Don't take the bait. The bait that Satan has set out for you is the spirit of offense. The bait that he set out for you is pride. And the bait that he set out for you is fear. Don't take the bait. I appreciate you all coming on with me today. I love you guys. Let's see if Mr. got something to say. Mr., you got something to say, Mr.? I love you too. You gonna look at the camera. Hey.
I said I love you. I sent you a message.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, well, thank you. I love you too. But don't take the bait, you guys. It is so easy to take the bait. It is so easy to hey, Veronica. Veronica's online, baby.
Hey.
It is so easy to walk in the spirit of offense. It is so easy to get swelled up with pride. It is so easy to allow the enemy to scare us away from our blessings. But because we know better, we can now do better. Don't take the bait. Okay? All right. It's your girl, Sonya G, here on the Talk Box. Y'all come and see me tomorrow, because tomorrow's my birthday, so I want to see everybody in the place. I want to see everybody talking back to me. And on Thursday, I want you to be a guest on the Talk Box. And if you know anyone else who has a story that will inspire people, make sure that you give them the link to be a guest on the Talk Box. Every Thursday, it's going to be open mic. God bless. Have a great day.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, listen to the Talk Box beside. Yeah, listen to the Talk Box. Let's talk about it.